Hello, welcome to the Smoke Pit. Jesus fucking Christ, destroy my throat like that. Yep. Another day, another podcast. Just FYI, pretty sure I'm gonna get some like late in calls from different guests. So don't be surprised if that shit happens and just like not me by myself, put on some music so not just ambient noise. But yeah. Alright. So earlier today, a buddy of mine showed me a video, which was really kind of hoping that he'll be on the call right now, so that we all could talk about it. So I'm just gonna wait for them to come on, so it's just not me rambling on by myself. Just popped a pimple on my nose. It was disgusting. Like, yeah, because in my lighting you can't really see it, but still that shit like hurt it for a sec. Then it actually popped, and like it was disgusting. I'm not gonna give you all the details of that shit. That shit was pretty nasty. But yeah. What you call it? Fuck. Kinda tired. Ran out of my Red Bull. Ran out of cigarettes. Fell asleep before I had a chance to buy them. Realized it was already getting kinda late. Wanted to do the stream. Probably gonna walk around in the middle of the night after the stream's over and just go buy cigarettes. Yep. But yeah. Where is everyone else at? It's kind of weird just being me by myself. I need to find like some movie editing software to like make better videos and shit. But yeah. So I'm pretty sure I was talking about this last time, but what I want to do is, yeah, whatchamacallit, be really, you know, I want to be a director and an author, either or, maybe both if I have a chance to, but mostly director and all that shit. Like I mentioned yesterday on last, when I mentioned on last stream, just remaking movies, you know, making it more modern. Does that mean I'm gonna make the whole cast just strictly female? Probably not. I mean, I'm not saying anything against female movies. I'm just saying, it's not my cup of tea, So yeah, there's that. Oh shit, my phone's gonna die. It's gonna look weird for a second because I'm not plugging my shit. There we go. Let me just plug it up real quick. Retarded. But yeah. Kind of thought they would want to be on right now because it's like nothing's really going on right now. Guess I was wrong. I'm not sure you heard that pop. That was pretty nasty. But yeah. I still see no one's watching yet, so it doesn't matter. No one really paying attention to this shit anyways. Kind of just doing it just to do it. you know. Eventually, I'll just fade out memory and shit. People are like forget about me. Like this won't go anywhere and shit. People are just gonna look at it barely and just watch some other shit. Cause I'm pretty damn boring. Oh, I'm boring by myself and I'm just talking to the damn camera. When me and my buddies are on, we just talk forever. But yeah. Once again, welcome to the Smoke Pit, episode number 5. Fuck. I'm really tired. I slept for most of the day, and that kind of fucks you up. My body's a little fucked up. Really tired. You know, just here to enjoy the cool, relaxing music, my raspy and low tone voice to make put you to sleep. You know. Yeah, I have really bad sleeping habits. But yeah, like I mentioned before, I've always wanted to be an author, no, a director. Because when I was a little kid, whatchamacallit, I forgot his name. I'm gonna look that up in a minute. If you've never seen his show, fucking Victorious, that was on Nickelodeon with Victoria Justice. That one dark skinned guy. Um, fuck. The one that dated like the goth, the thick goth bitch. Forgot her name. His name on there was, I think, fuck, I can't remember for sure. But yeah, the one dark skinned guy, not the black guy, like the tannish kind of guy. Yeah, he was doing a movie in my city, Fresno. I forgot what it was called, but yeah, did a movie in my city, and I got his autograph on all my shirts when I was a little kid. I kind of wanted to be, I somewhat wanted to be an actor, but I've always just loved movies, so I always kind of wanted to make the movies. But yeah. So right now my cousin's in fucking Virginia, which is like 3 hours ahead. So it's what, 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, sounds about right. Cause you said around 2. I mean, I know it's a Friday night. People are out there doing whatever. I always expected a lot of people to be at home doing nothing. But yeah. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. Yeah, I can't fall asleep no more. Just kind of on my phone and shit, just watching shit. Oh shit, who liked it, but I didn't even watching it. Hmm. What to talk about before everyone else joins in the call? Let's see. Hmm. I guess review what I was talking about last fucking podcast, last episode, one of the things I was talking about was like, the old school love versus new school love, you know, to kind of meet that person for face, kind of like fall in love with that person by meeting them first off, like in that face to face and shit like that. Like becoming friends with them first, face to face. Talking to them in person for a long time, becoming best friends and all that shit. Yeah, to me that's my kind of true love. But people who fall in love over the app and are still together, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that that's not gonna work. Just hasn't really worked for me yet. And it kind of sucks. Yeah, I do need to get some fucking video software so I could just put like a little gif of like fucking burning cigarettes, some shit. Instead of just having an actual video of me. Yeah. So far, just somebody liked it, but no one's really watching it. Yeah, it's probably gonna be short if no one else joins. Why am I so low? Yeah, like I said, my interpretation of love, or my kind of love is meeting that person, without using an app, getting to know them for a while, hanging out more and more, you know, and eventually fall in love with that person. That's what I think. To me, it's kind of like a way of true love. Other people use apps, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's good and that people can still stay together, even though they use an app. It's just, I don't know, it's just not my thing. I need some water. I'm dehydrated. Oh, my fucking legs, man. Maybe a sore sound. I do need some fucking better lighting in here, though, that's for sure. Yeah. Little birdie told me that The ex I mentioned before that I was madly in love with, she might be pregnant. And when I heard that, my fucking blood boiled. And I was like, yeah, fuck me, right? And I was really pissed off. Yeah. I mean, I know it's pathetic me being mad at her for getting pregnant with the guy she loved right after we broke up. Yeah. My buddy was doing some recon for me and shit. And it showed that, like, it showed the date that they got together was literally a few days after we broke up. I was like, wow. Yeah, because my cousin graduated in March, late March. And around that time would have been our anniversary and shit. But when we broke up, it was like near the beginning of March. So yeah, I was pretty pissed off. Yeah, that's whatever though. You know, she replaced me. A lot of people replace me. I'm easily forgotten until somebody needs something. Or they need to take out anger on somebody, yeah, then I am easily the first pick. Yeah. When it comes to inviting somebody to go somewhere, they don't remember who I am. But oh, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Oh, well, there's your Strata. There's Lorenzo. We could do it. He could do it. He doesn't care. I don't. It's just, you know, sometimes tiring and shit. Oh, shit. I ate my last orange. That's right. But yeah, you know, she replaced me. You know, made all these promises and shit that we'd still be friends. She'd still talk to me. That she'd still, text me from time to time, see how I'm doing. That was 2 months ago. I'm not saying I want to text every single day. I just want to see if like maybe once a week she'll say, hey, little conversation for like half a day. We'll go back to our lives. But yeah, last time I texted her, she didn't respond. I want to see if she could stay like that. See if she would not respond at all, and that I was right. She didn't respond. And I was like, you know what? I guess she doesn't care about me. It just was whatever. Thing is, if I ever do become famous, I am 99% sure she's gonna try and hit me up again. Try like, oh hey, how you been? I hang out sometimes. Where do you want to go? And me being, rich and famous in that future tense, it's like pretty sure I'm become a big asshole. Like I mean like a huge asshole. I don't mean like a rich asshole, but just like mainly towards her. Because she goes in my ear on me like how I did at first, but felt really guilty and tried coming back. Yeah. She comes back if I ever do become famous. And tries to say that she still loves me and all that shit when she's been with like many other guys after we broke up. I don't know. I won't believe it. I deny it. I will say no to the end of my days. Because if she did love me like the way she always claimed, she would have worked it out with me. If there was a problem, she would have told me about it. That we could have worked on. Because I wasn't a drunk until she left. I mean, yeah, I got drunk here and there, but I wasn't like an alcoholic. But yeah, as soon as she left, I just turned to alcohol, which was fucking terrible for me. You know, sick to my stomach most nights and shit. Couldn't sleep. Usually drink to go to sleep. Fucking up my work and shit like that. Yeah. The worst part is I let it go that way. I didn't care, hated myself too much to change anything. So yeah, I just let it happen. But yeah, what you call it? Yeah, she just easily replaceable is all I'm saying. I am. If she really did love me, she would have worked it out. Instead of just leaving the way she did. And that's weird too, because like I wanted hearing that she was pregnant pissed me off because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to get her pregnant. I wanted to start a family and all that shit. You know, I was gonna propose to her on the day of our anniversary on the beach, Solonia Beach, which I think it was. Yeah, I think it was that one. Or no, it's Guadalupe Beach, where it's like the most amazing beach you could ever see. No trash, none of that weird gunk. Just pure ocean and pure sand. And it was beautiful. And that's when I wanted to take her to propose to her on our anniversary date. So yeah, she left, and everything I thought I understood went right out the window. I was lost. I had to blame myself for a long time, saying it was all my fault. You know, maybe it was a better man, maybe if I was more manly, you know, maybe if I never joined the Marine Corps, maybe if I just stayed home, be like the boys everyone else falls in love with, a pothead with like, tattoos everywhere. But maybe girls might like me. And I don't doubt it. I'm pretty sure if I just get tattoos everywhere and I just do a lot of drugs, girls will fall in love with me and not care that I'll become an asshole and abuse them and shit. So yeah, you know, looks like I chose a losing streak. It sucks too because on nights like these, we be talking about anything, and I'm pretty sure I would say something right now to piss her off for a second. She wanted to hang out, or she was giving me attitude, and I just apologize and make her feel better. And we're going on to talk about like kids' names and what we're gonna do with our kids, just shit like that. But yeah, it's all out the window. There's this other girl I'm talking to, like a friend I've known for a long time. I mean, we dated for a while, but we broke up because it was like I guess too early for us. And I'm not gonna say her name out loud. For those of you who watch this that know who I am and basically know almost everything about me, you know, I don't want to mention her name. Like, oh, I know who she is. Oh man, bullshit like that, and just chastise her too. And I'm gonna get my ass chewed by her and shit. And yeah, but this girl I'm talking to again now. you know, had a crush on since elementary and shit. She she's single, but she's like really religious, like my mom kind of religious. So I know my mom's gonna like her. Hopefully. Yeah. Kind of want to invite her on the stream, but she said she doesn't want to because she's scared to like give her opinion. Afraid of getting attacked for what she believes in. And I don't blame her. Nowadays, people who put out their opinions are easily attacked. Like I could say, "Oh, I don't like this part of the movie," and people are like, "Oh, well, you're stupid. You're retarded. You should go jump off a bridge." It escalates that quickly, and that surprises me. Like we play victim so much that we don't know who the real victims are. We're basically crying wolf, and it pisses me off too. But yeah, she didn't want to go on stream because she was afraid of getting attacked for her opinions and stuff like that. But thing is, we do need a female perspective on stuff we talk about. Because lately it's just been a Sasha special, just us guys just yelling at each other about different shit. But yeah, we need like a female perspective on things. Because a lot of guys could agree with each other on a lot of things. But you bring a girl into the mix, and it's like, well, now you have better understand on both sides of the fence. Kind of shit. But yeah. Yeah. I'm not even sure. Pretty sure she likes someone else too. I can guarantee it. If I play my moves and all that, she's gonna end up dropping the bomb saying, "Oh, well, me and this guy been talking for a while." And she's like, just have my heart broken. And someone's gonna be broken. Yeah, I'm just doing this stream by myself, I guess. Same thing as usual and shit. You get used to being by yourself. The things you don't like it. You don't like getting used to stuff. Like you're used to getting your heart broken, but you hate the feeling. I mean, just because you're used to it doesn't mean you like it. really fucking tired. I'm really stressed out. Like, I know no one's watching this shit. Pretty sure by the time I post this up, no one's even gonna bother watching it anyways. But, yeah. Pretty sure shit gets worse for me and I let it get worse. And I take my life and shit. People are gonna see this like, oh, now I understand why he was acting like that. You know, that's the thing. You know, we always claim to be close friends and shit, but you never really talk to them. Where the fuck did I go wrong in my life? Yeah. Why did that shit get out of hand so bad? Thing is, I didn't expect it to live this long. You know? Sometimes I didn't want to live this long. Sometimes, kind of wish it was kind of short, easier on my life. I know. Still wake up in the mornings. But yeah. My entire life, I've let people walk over me. I've let people just throw their shit on me and just leave. And I complain, and people tell me to stop complaining and man up, and I just keep quiet. Yeah. One day when I do take my life, people are gonna wonder what happened. What happened? He was such a good kid. He was such a happy kid. Yeah. I just let myself be forgotten. Just to see if they don't really care to see if I'm still here. Yeah. No one's even really watching anyways. I'm just gonna talk about my depression and shit. Me and my suicidal tendencies. Me and my bad sleeping habits that I need to get medication for. My anxiety. And my depression. All those three I'm getting medication for soon. So hopefully I don't OD on that shit. But yeah, I'm usually forgotten and shit like that. One day I woke up and just Just realize also over time people just move on, and if you're not part of life, you're just forgotten. So to a lot of people, I've just drifted away. You know, just a faint memory to a lot of people. That's all I am, just a shitty little memory you can't barely recall at times. I had a most terrifying dream. I had a dream I lost my family, and that shit really hurt. And when I went to the funeral, I was just there by myself. No one else was there, and I just felt truly alone. Like nobody cared. And in that dream, I was fucking breaking down and crying really fucking bad. And, you know, I felt like I lost everything. Like I didn't exist no more. And in that dream, I tried to take my life, which I don't doubt I would do in real life if that did happen. If I ever did find myself alone at the funeral. No one ever bothered to call saying if I was okay. Very sure I would take my life. No, I can just guarantee it. That's what I know I would do. Yeah. Well, next thing you know, I just, like I said, I tried taking my life in that dream. Like, jumping off a building. And I was like, it was a real high building and shit. And it was really fucking terrifying. Like, just the way down. Like when they say if you fall in a dream, and you fall in real life, that if you don't wake up before you hit the floor, you die in real life. I thought, you know, that almost happened to me because when I woke up, like half my body was off my bed and shit. So yeah. Oh shit, what up? Yeah, I've been on here for about like fucking 40 minutes, just rambling on. I'm just waiting for like my buddies to get online so we can chat online and shit. Like on fucking Skype. I hate all my oranges, so I'm a little sad about that. I'd be eating orange right now. Yeah, just little fucking music playing in the background, ambient music. Oh shit, this one's actually almost done anyways. Spikes. Yeah, if you haven't been watching my stream, it was like really depressing for a moment and shit. So yeah. Just living a lonely life. Just waiting until like I get my yeah, because I broke my PlayStation, so I need to get a new one, which sucks because otherwise I'll be like streaming whatever game I'll be playing right now. But yeah, you know, fucked up my PlayStation, moving to another room because they found out I had suicidal tendencies and shit like that. Yeah, gonna go see a doc later on, get some sleeping medication, some antidepressants and stuff like that. So yeah. I need better lighting. I need to get like a lamp. I need some cigarettes. I wish I could take like other kind of drugs. You know, if I was in the military, I'm pretty sure I'll be using medicinal marijuana. Medicinal. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go see Doc, get some medication. I mean, if there's people actually even watching this, I'm like not even on looking at the video. I'm actually like looking at like the internet and shit. I wish I knew how to work like actual streaming shit, so I can like show you what I'm looking at. You know, all the porn I'm watching, crap like that. Yeah. Oh snap! There's the people are watching. Um, what do I use? Well, right now I'm just like just using regular fucking YouTube. I got like this new mic right here. You know, sponsored by Blue. I mean, I wish I was sponsored. Shit, you know, give me a little extra cash in the pocket. I want to be that kind of like YouTube famous where like I can actually move on from just doing podcasts and doing actual other YouTube videos and like get animated and shit. And whoever I do it regularly with, you know, they're just animated. They're probably like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're gonna ship us to like a gay couple, like in animation and shit, which would be pretty cringy, but you know, pretty little. This will be a little cute. No homo and shit. I usually use Skype with Herkiman. I mean, if you have Skype, you could join in. We could just talk. Cause me and Herc found something we could talk about. So yeah. I mean, I have Discord on my phone. I don't have it on my laptop. I do have Twitch on my laptop though. Thing is, I don't know how to stream from my fucking laptop, which pisses me off because it'll be a little bit better on there for me at least. So yeah. Oh shit! Is the music actually even done? Why is it quiet? Okay, never mind. I'll just play the next song. Yeah, playing like some weird, you know, unknown music because to prevent copy strikes and shit like that, so my videos won't be taken down if I'm listening to too much not pirated, licensed music. Yeah. If you want to join in, if you have Skype, you could join in the call. We could just talk about what me and Herc saw earlier. Yeah, it is lo-fi beats. You can't really like put a copy strike on it unless it's really famous people doing that shit. So, I use this so my videos don't get copy strike and I won't get so my video could get monetized. Last time I checked, I got like 6 cents, and I'm rich. Yeah. You trying to join the Skype call? So I'm not just here talking about myself and shit. I actually could have a conversation. Because I'm pretty sure. Because Herc said he's going to come on a little bit later. Yeah. 1 minute. Give me a second. Yeah, I just added you, man. Yeah, Herc said around like 11:30 to 12 o'clock he's gonna join in. Right. Right. Hello.
Ace Lorenzo, though.
Yo.
You don't remember who I am, huh? Probably not by the voice. No, probably not.
Yeah, my voice got a little mature. Been
Nah,
around.
not really. Still goofball.
Still goofball.
Yeah, still goofball. It's your boy Ricardo.
Oh shit! What up, man?
Oh man, chilling,
Yeah.
being natural piece of shit,
Yeah. Same. Borderline alcoholic. If I just keep drinking.
Oh shit, man. It's always good to have a drink here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Whatchamacallit? Yeah, Herc said he's gonna come on in a minute, so him, whoever else decides to join in.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, dude. Like, I know starting on a podcast is extremely hard because podcasts are usually talk shows, and if you got nothing to talk about, kind of feels like a brick wall.
Yeah. I mean, I do have shit to talk about. Just like
I know sometimes it hits right there.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and especially when I'm just by myself, it's like we're just talking. It's like, yeah, it's like talking to a wall,
Exactly.
talking to no one. It's just like, well, how am I gonna get someone else's opinion? That's why I usually need like multiple people. That's why I like few of my other podcasts. We've had like at least more than two people sometimes, and like yeah, we usually get like a lot of stuff mentioned out there.
Yeah, when I stream, streaming games like off of Twitch and shit, it's like you put the bottom barrel. So I
Hmm.
know what it feels like, but if you just keep on doing what you're doing, you'll accumulate some sort of following.
Yeah,
And right now I have like 50 something people or whatever followers,
yeah,
and shit, that it was from when I started live streaming in high school,
hmm,
and so it just it accumulates over time, and as long as you just keep on doing it, you'll, like I said, you'll amass a following, and you'll eventually get that following that you need, the motivation, because there will be a point where you just no one new shows up, and you feel like you're not really getting anywhere.
yeah.
We call that the drought.
That makes sense. Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. What you call it, but yeah, kind of size podcast. Like I want to say like not even a month ago. Like I want to say like maybe 2 3 weeks ago. Yeah, like yeah, about like two weeks ago.
That's good. You just you gotta so like I'm not like a professional on podcasts or anything because I don't do podcasts.
Hmm.
Um, but I wouldn't say try to go in with the script because a lot of people when they listen they don't like to, it's kind of like fake news.
Yeah,
So you want to read not from a script but from something that you personally have like some thoughts written down on a like somewhere, but not like a script, like topics, a sentence starter or of some sort. So it helps you when you feel like you're kind of just shooting in the dark, and I don't know. I mean, like it's kind of hard to give advice if you're not really good at it.
yeah, yeah. I get what you're saying though. Yeah, because every time me and when like the last two, we kind of like already like brainstorm. We started the call before I started the stream. So when we do that, we kind of like brainstorm what we're gonna talk about, and we had to look up the articles before we start the stream. So we're not just like, oh well, what do you want to talk about or something like that. Like what you call it? Like I mentioned earlier, me and Herc had something we are gonna talk about. When he gets on, because he sent me like a video of like basically like you remember how when they kept saying that the Middle Easterns like how like a lot of them are like really violent and all that.
Oh yeah, radical.
Yeah, like a lot of people were like really into social media are like, oh, you're just being racist, you're being hypocritical, this and that.
It kind of stems into the fact that in their and it's kind of hard to explain, but well, what do you call it? In their religion, they, like how Christians have the Bible,
Yeah,
the Islam, they read the book called the Book of Quran,
yeah,
and in the Book of Quran, it's it's by what do you call it? The guy Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad,
yeah,
and the Prophet Muhammad believed that um, so many so many like controversial things that are going on right now,
yeah,
and most controversial things that are going on are mainly in the U.S., and that's what causes a lot of attacks to happen over here because Islam. It's not just Islamic. It's just people that believe in the Quran, people who have read the Quran and follow by it, abide by it, whatever. Um, they take into action because in the Quran it says anybody that is home like a um a homo of some sort or believes that women should have rights. They're all infidels. They don't deserve to like live,
Yeah.
and that's why we get so many terrorist attacks here.
Yeah.
It stems from their religion, and it's kind of it's not really a religion. It's more like what they believe in, because anybody that reads the Quran, they could take it their own way, and they just happen to perceive it the way that they perceive it, which involves in acts of violence towards people that they believe that should not exist in the first place. That's just my seeing of it. A lot of people can beg to differ because they could practically say that, oh, it's different. It's not everybody's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, that's a really touchy subject because nowadays it's like not only we're attacking that race, we're also attacking their religion, their beliefs, their ideals, all that stuff. And it's like basically whenever we do that, we seem like the hypocrites. And it's really hard to give your opinion or facts, even facts about what's going on without sounding like a racist or a hypocrite.
Yeah, and everybody gets all like butt hurt, I guess you can say.
Yeah. Like if you say, oh well, this ethnic person from the Middle East is causing harm, because the video you showed me was talking about like essentially like people from the Middle East or that kind of like general area of like basically like in a way Middle East various areas and in Germany they're like they have their own little rape gangs and shit where like they're just like find women and like actually molest them. And like because the fact that they didn't cover themselves the way that women usually are in that area, and they're saying that the people of social media are just trying to hide that to prevent them from being attacked. I mean, I can see what they're kind of doing. Like, I guess they're just trying to make sure like no innocent Middle Easterns are getting attacked, but at the same time, it's like protecting. I mean, this is gonna be really outlandish and really bland, but this is the best idea I could come up with. It's like basically trying to protect Nazis. Like, oh well, these Germans aren't necessarily Nazis. They kind of believe what the Nazis believe, but they're not Nazis. All that like trying to protect.
Jazz, yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. What do you call it? Like you were saying, rape. It's a lot of people believe that there's rape culture everywhere, and that not a lot of innocent women are safe. There's like no real safe space. In like well formal populated areas, like campuses, universities of any kind, workplaces. They strongly believe that there's a rape culture where women are not safe because guys are so aggressive.
Yeah, sexually aggressive.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's kind of true. You always have those guys who are like a little too touchy sometimes, but at the same time, it's not like we're just right in front of everybody, just like pushing you, bending you over, and actually sexually molesting you and stuff. Thing is, like, I seen a post on Facebook which really like triggered like it. I never been so triggered in my life. It said, if a woman says she's raped, she's raped. That doesn't have to be someone actually doing the rape. It's whatever the woman believes is actually real. I was like, I mean, I'm not saying women are, in a way like always gonna lie about stuff like that, but at the same time, I was like, I mean, that's basically, calling wolf. It's crying wolf right there. There's people who've been, sexually molested, and when they try to come out about it, they've always been like shot down.
Yeah, because they make it, the people who cry wolf about it make it like really hard for the people that have actually been victims of it, and that's actually one of the reoccurring factors right now.
Yeah.
What else?
Do you remember Albert?
Uh,
He was like he was Hispanic, and I think he went out with not not Darla. What was her name? He went out with, she was like I want to say Filipino or something like that. She was something like that. I don't know.
sorry, I don't know who Albert is. I
Uh,
know an Albert, which is somebody who's a little younger than us.
yeah, he was on our age in high school and shit. Let me see if I can find him on Facebook.
Benny, is it?
Huh?
Oh no, I was talking to my friend.
But yeah, fucking yeah, he got in trouble because I guess like multiple people came out saying that he was like sexually harassing them.
People were sexually harassing him.
No, he was sexually harassing people, like a whole bunch of girls.
Oh
Did you hear about that?
no, actually, I haven't. It's kind of crazy, actually.
Yeah.
Albert. I think there are some people that look like an Albert, but like not really sure if that's actually an Albert.
Let me see. Albert Hernandez.
Send like a link on Skype.
His Facebook link?
Yeah, if you can.
Right. Let me see if I can real quick. Yeah, give me 1 second. I think I just copied the link.
Let's see this. Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. He did kind of seem a little fishy. Like, I didn't really know him. Just I've seen him around campus a lot. And me personally, like when I look at somebody, I know it's like bad to judge and all,
Mm-hmm.
but like he had like a specific kind of feeling to him. Like whenever I looked at him, I was like, this guy's kind of like on the like there's like something mysterious about this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird how you can like get those feelings, and then when it turns out to be true, it's like, man, like it's crazy when like you just hear crazy shit like that about people. But yeah, like we were saying before, the whole Middle Eastern, the fact that a lot of people don't want to touch that subject because you're gonna make it seem like it's sexual harassment and all that. Yo,
What's up?
give me 1 second, man.
Bro,
All
time.
right. Yeah, fucking whatchamacallit. Have you been watching the stream?
I have not.
Yeah,
Oh, Ricardo's there.
yeah. I'm adding him in right now. Hopefully he answers. Chris was supposed to be on here too, but like he had duty, so he's gonna be up a little bit after 2. So right now it's like probably like 2:30 over there.
Fuck.
And I'm just wondering why he hasn't picked up yet.
Damn. 2:30 at night, right?
Yeah, in the morning, right? It's like 2 in the morning over there for him right now.
Would he still be awake or?
Okay. I guess he had like 4-hour duty. That's why he said like around 2 in the morning.
Ah, I see. So what you been talking about so far?
We're actually kind of hidden, like we're barely touching the subject of the video you sent me earlier.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, hopefully he answers so we get his input. No, he's not answering though. Whatchamacallit? Yeah. But yeah, what's your input on that?
If I'm being 100% honest with everyone, whatchamacallit, I think mass immigration should not have been a thing. It was the stupidest decision by the EU.
Yeah.
Like, it's not it's not immigration is essentially when a group, like, how do I say this? It's when a group of people or a person, they go over to another country to assimilate, to immigrate and assimilate into a new country. What's happening in Europe right now is the Muslim immigrants who are coming over, they're not assimilating. They're simply invading.
Mm-hmm.
They're just taking over space, and no one that's not a Muslim, when they enter the space, basically they're super hostile.
Yeah.
Like, extremely hostile. And then then you hear about the woman getting raped like almost everywhere because like that's just how it is. Like they view women as second-class citizens, and it's just bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, stuff like that's crazy. And like it mentioned in the video too. It's really hard to touch on that subject because it's hard to make it seem like you're not racist or a hypocrite.
Yeah, people are too sensitive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like I said before, it's just social media, Because if this happened like in the the late '90s, early 2000s, this would have been all over the news right now.
Exactly, it would have been stopped. The situation would have been handled.
Yeah, that definitely would have been stopped. It would if social media, wasn't around right now and that should still happen. Pretty sure it would be everywhere right now. Like that would be our number one concern.
Essentially, because right now we have the culture of how I said this, like, oh, you have to be politically correct, you can't offend anybody, and then with the left what's happening with the left and over there in Europe is that they don't want to be called a racist.
Yeah.
And they don't want to offend any of the immigrants, which is retarded because you're offending your own citizens. You're basically putting them in danger.
That's true.
And they're not doing. And you heard the German when this happened in Germany, the German government tried to hide this
for a year, right?
Yeah, for a year, and then until finally, there's too much evidence showing that they finally said, "We're sorry about it. Sorry, you should have done something about it."
Yeah,
it's horrible.
It is.
Like, what the actual fuck?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It gets me tilted because, it gets me pissed off because how can you do that to your own citizens?
Yeah.
Like they should come first rather than some immigrants,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying trying to be mean or anything, but they're your own citizens. If you're gonna put them, you're literally putting, you're putting the you're putting the immigrants above the people who you're supposed to be protecting and serving. It just doesn't make any sense. Like that's why I get pissed off at it.
Yeah, me too, man. It's like it's hard to talk about it and not like it's
Not
hard.
get called out.
Yeah, because A, I'm in the military, and B, I'm a male. So it's like I'm like signing my own death wish right here. Just like I'm signing my own fucking death certificate.
No, I fucking feel you 100%.
Yeah, because like people are like, oh, you're in the military. You kill those people for a living.
Exactly. They're gonna come at you with that.
Yeah,
Even though that's not the truth, you're defending your own life.
that's true. It's like like I'm not even over there in the first place. I'm not killing nobody. I mean, killing myself by smoking and drinking, but that's me.
Essentially, yeah, that's literally it. I don't know. People like to be butthurt. They like to talk shit, but then when something sensitive happens, like they like to basically, like complain like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, we let the world get too soft nowadays.
Essentially.
I feel like an old man just yelling at a whole bunch of kids. Like whenever we just mention that the world's getting too soft, I just feel like an old man saying, back in my day,
Nah, I feel you on that.
Because it's true, back in our day when we were just kids, we didn't have social media to make us, fucking all sensitive and shit.
Yeah, we had to deal with it. We had to deal with it.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It's just like the uprising of social media just made us believe that,
we have to be careful.
Yeah. It's
I
like
feel you on that.
It's like walking through a like a field of landmines with like clown shoes. That's how dangerous putting your opinion on social media is.
Damn, that's actually that's a hell of a good example. Nice.
Yeah, like best example is if I put something saying, like this, if you're up, no one's really gonna like it. But if I say, man, why are black people so this, and this?
Yeah, but
that's
like
everywhere.
It's retarded because like if you say that exact same thing about white people will agree with you.
Yeah.
But the moment you touch on black people, no, it's awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. So the world's kind of fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, the world is fucked. I mean, it's just like all social media.
Pretty much, man. I mean, like, yeah, as much as I am annoyed by it, like, you just gotta weather through the storm and just do you.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. It's like and that too is hard just being you. You can't be yourself. You have to be how other people want you to be.
That's the most retarded part. They're saying like, oh, you need to be yourself. You need to be more open about yourself. Well, I mean, if myself is the one that that's mad about all these events happening, and then you're saying, oh, you're being racist, you can't be like that.
Exactly.
I'm not being racist. I'm just stating facts. That's as simple as that.
Yeah. There's a difference between racism and just like, just past history of bad experiences.
Essentially, yeah. There's a complete difference.
Like you mentioned before. Yeah, like how you mentioned before through, what your dad and your grandfather went through and all that. Like, I mean, if I get jumped by a whole bunch of black people, and I get a little feared for them, it's not because I'm racist, and I think all black people are like that. Just I had a bad experience. Just like if you get in a car crash, every time you get in a car, you're always gonna be a little nervous.
Like sure, like we as like people who haven't gone through it, my like say that's kind of an irrational fear, but we haven't gone through the crash ourselves. It's fucking scary.
Yeah. For those who have been in car crashes and always get nervous in the car and stuff, and for those who haven't, telling them don't be nervous, you're gonna be okay. It's hard to believe that when you've already been through a situation like that before.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. It's I don't know.
No, I know what you're talking about, Lance. No, it's been annoying.
Yeah. And I think I mentioned this before. Did you hear about the whole, them adding the pedophile part to the LGBTQ, whatever it is?
I heard that was fake, and honestly,
actually believe it, and they might actually like, oh, good job. They're actually involving that age is just a number. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's
It's just
it's
just annoying.
it is. Like age is like I don't know. It's weird for me saying
It's
that age
stupid.
is just a number. Like
Yeah, no, I feel you.
I can get maybe feel like a 1 year difference. Okay, 2 years is like barely counting it, but like if you're going like younger than that, it's weird.
Yeah, especially if they're still in high school. Like if they're like, in my opinion, if they're like lower than a senior, because it might be like if they're a senior, then I can kind of see it. But if they're like junior or even sophomore level, oh hell no. But if you're even freshman, like, you're gonna fucking up.
Yeah. And that's always funny. Like whenever you see senior day to freshman.
Yeah, I had a friend who did that.
Yeah, it's just weird. Like you see a whole bunch of memes of like big ass men with like little girls. You know, it's like senior day and freshman and shit. And that's basically true. You see like a grown man basically dating like a girl that looks like a little kid and shit. It's weird.
Yeah, no, I understand.
Like I can understand like sophomores and freshmen or even juniors and freshmen, but not a senior. Because you're about to leave anyways. You're about to just, be on your own world after that.
I understand.
But yeah. I don't know. The whole and I believe I just seen someone saying, pedophiles just believe that they're kids in an adult body and that's why they're attracted to kids.
That's not it.
I don't know. When I seen it, I was like, that doesn't seem really believable. Because if you're
That's really not it. You're pushing some boundaries there, buddy. If you're saying that,
I mean,
you're asking to get fucked up.
Yeah, and you by saying you feel like you're a kid in a adult's body, I mean, you should still be a kid. You shouldn't have the need to drive everywhere.
Yeah,
Doing
exactly.
everything.
If you're a kid in an adult body, you shouldn't take advantage of the the fact that because there's some people like obviously they're gonna say, oh yeah, he's just a kid in an adult body. If you say that, you're gonna take advantage of the fact that you might be a pedophile and you might fuck someone's day up, or you might fuck a child's life up. Things like that, like they're just trying to cut corners and they're just trying to normalize it, which is stupid.
Yeah, that shit's fucking terrible.
I don't know. Maybe it's like another 4chan troll post about the pedosexuality. I really hope it is because if it is, I see that takes eases my mind a little bit because they're just trolling. But if it's like an actual thing, then I don't know what to say. We're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if they're willing to say that, that this is okay. No, it's not.
It's not.
You're endangering children.
Yeah.
You're hurting them.
Yeah, basically. Like for those who say it's okay, and when they have kids and they have people in that same group come like hit on their kids, how are they gonna feel?
Exactly.
They're basically being hypocrites like that though. If they do believe in that, if they do allow that. It's like, they just say they're kids in adult bodies. They go ahead date kids. Next, they have kids, whether they adopt or actually give birth.
Yeah.
And that same man they're trying to protect tries to have sexual relations with their kid, they're gonna feel like betrayed. They're gonna like feel dumb too.
Exactly.
And that's what's hard, nowadays. Just saying stuff like that in general, without getting, everyone saying, "Oh, you're just a hypocrite. You don't understand. You never, felt the same, fucking love towards the same sex and shit like that."
Yeah.
It's like weird. I mean, no homo. I've actually kissed a guy or like fucking it as a dare.
That's interesting.
Don't worry, I didn't. It was just like a quick little kiss. It wasn't like no fucking Twilight making out for like 20 minutes and shit. Yeah. I mean, I was like, man, I ain't no pussy. I'm gonna do it. So a buddy of mine did some recon for me and found out that my ex might be pregnant,
Oh fuck.
and it sucks because like they got together in late, like I want to say mid March.
Mm-hmm.
So for 3 months they've been together, and they already and she might already be pregnant.
I see.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If they're really in love and they're really gonna make it work, good for them. But if that doesn't work and they break up and shit, and she starts trying to tell me if I could help her raise kids, like, well, I mean, it's gonna be really. I'm gonna be really pissed off.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna.
I see what you mean on that. Cause like, it's just like, from what I see, it sounds like not a sense of betrayal or anything like that, but more like I don't know how this ever works. But like, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, like I would, and I hate saying this, but I would be an asshole towards her if she does that shit to me. She gets
Pretty much.
hurt. The guy leaves, and she's left with a kid, and I'm gonna feel bad for her because I was in the same situation. My dad, got arrested and shit. Fucking ended up becoming a deadbeat later on in life.
Oh yeah.
So didn't really have a dad around and all that shit till like later on in my life, and it's like
Yeah,
you kind of don't want to see another kid like that grow up like that.
I
But
feel you, man.
but at the same time, I feel like at that point I'm just gonna be getting used and shit.
Yeah.
And
Mm,
thing is with girls, they know how to manipulate you, and it's scary because they can make you seem like the asshole when you're actually like in the right.
yeah.
That's like, like say like I moved on and I'm already falling in love with someone else, and then she comes around and says, "Oh, I still love you. You're the most important thing to me. I just didn't know what I was doing. This and that." And you're like, "Hey, you can't be an asshole. Like you don't want to be an asshole. And when you do be an asshole, you basically become public enemy number one to everyone else.
Essentially, it's the most fucked up thing.
Like she'll put you on blast on whatever social media, Facebook, Instagram. Like, oh, I put my heart out towards him, and he just told me to fuck off and shit like that. I was like, I, it's like you're lying to everybody. I didn't tell you to fuck off. I just said not. I moved on. You moved on. Situations are different. You're twisting my words and making me look like the bad guy. And it's hard defending yourself against a girl because being a guy defending yourself against a girl, it's
They're
it's
gonna naturally team up against you.
it's a lose lose. If you win that
Yeah.
battle, you still lose because you're the asshole.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose that battle, if you lose that argument, you just look like a wuss and you lose. Either way,
And then if you
it's
win, it seems you're the like, yeah, you're the asshole.
yeah, it's a lose lose arguing against girls, no matter what. No matter, unless she's being your kids in a senseless way where she doesn't need to do that. Like,
Essentially.
like if she's leaving marks and you grab her hands and you put her like on the floor, not beating her up or anything, just like in a way restraining her with non-lethal intent.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that, and like police come and ask you, oh, why you have your wife tied up, and you show the marks on her kid's back and all that,
Exactly.
you can't really be in the wrong. The kids were
But then she can start twisting the words. But if the kids are saying like, "Oh, she was hitting us, she was beating us," you know, if the kids like, if they can help you out, that's good. But
yeah,
it's a bit more difficult than that because the police, if they see a woman all tied up, if they see the kids marks, and they're gonna take probably her side because she's the one tied up.
yeah. Like I said,
It's
it's still a losing battle against for men, and that's the scary part about life, about being a guy.
yeah, no, I feel you on that.
Like guys are naturally supposed to be assholes no matter what. And it's what sucks is like girls are into assholes. Like haven't you ever
Yeah.
noticed like they always date the guys with tattoos and like smoke weed and like are just general like bad people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like when they get cheated on or even when they get beat, like, oh, why do I let myself do this? Why do I love him? Why can't I find myself a good guy? And like the actual good guys that come in and try to be with them, try to fall in love with them.
You turned it down.
Yeah. And it's like now these guys are out doing whatever, having really nice jobs, having really nice cars, getting families and stuff. And you're over here pregnant, living off welfare and all that shit just because you didn't want to date some guy who looked like a nerd. And that's just life nowadays, No one wants to date the nerd.
My bad, I was like, man.
It's fine.
Oh, I almost got to
But yeah.
Sorry. And it's good.
But yeah, it's like you don't want to date the nerd. You just want to date the guy who looks cool. But like,
Pretty much. That's what they're going for.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's all about appearance. That's why, like, I don't bother with relationships, like I told you before.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not appealing from what I'm seeing. The goods.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah, I don't know. The world right now just, it used to be black and white and you can understand it, but now just like someone put on colorblind and, threw in a rainbow.
Pretty much.
Trying to understand what's going on and you don't even know what the first part is. That's life nowadays. Because when I was a kid and shit, it was simple. You go to school, you hang out with your friends during recess, do your homework, and that's it. Maybe play your game station, but that's about it. You didn't have no social media.
Yeah, just go out, play with your friends, play some games. Maybe MySpace was like the biggest thing, but there's like literally no drama. Nothing too crazy. No one like shat on each other.
Yeah. And it's like
it was simple times.
It was simple. Yeah. Like how you said MySpace. I had a MySpace, but I never used it.
I never even had a MySpace. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about it until like I was like, we're in high school. I'm like, oh, that was a thing.
It was, and like I had it, and I just forgot the password automatically. I was like, oh wait, I forgot. I don't know, and I never like. I'm pretty sure if I try to look it up right now and shit, it's like, is MySpace even still active right now?
Nah, it's dead as fuck.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like going there is like not even gonna be anyone even on, but like I wonder if they still have my account or they like automatically delete it because that was years ago. I'm pretty sure it's now I've been on it for like a couple of years. Like, oh man, this guy probably died or some shit.
That could be a thing,
yeah. Yeah, but like MySpace was the biggest social media thing at that time, and like how you have those older siblings that always play like Soulja Boy and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like your friends are just watching YouTube videos like fucking Fred or Knowing Orange or some shit like that. As like a kid, and like, that was the most hilarious thing to you because like they didn't have any dank memes and shit the way they do now, and it's weird. It's like the evolution of like social media. Just I don't know. It has its pros and cons. Pros is like all these cancerous dank memes are actually pretty funny. The cons are just like the whole social media aspect of like you and your opinions aren't right unless they're someone else's.
Well, I mean, if you're in the right group, then they won't tell you anything like that.
Yeah.
As long as you don't you don't go towards leftist social media like web pages or things like that, then you'll be fine because voicing your opinion there, like on different websites, like freaking whatchamacallit. What is it? It's like say like BuzzFeed, right?
Yeah.
You say something that's like it's not homophobic, but like how how like people say that you like homosexuals they can't or gay people they can't donate blood because of the HIV thing.
Yeah.
Essentially, the moment you say that to them, they're gonna call you you're homophobic, it's prejudice, you should get the fuck out of here, you're racist for just stating facts.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
That's a thing. But as long as you stay away from those like cancerous leftist like pages, you should be fine. You should be fine.
That's true. And like it's weird. Like whenever you try to call someone out on that too, the one that just blurts out, "Oh, that's racist," and you just like lay all the facts on them, and they're just like,
Yeah,
they're just speechless for a moment, and it's like, you're just a bigot. You're just throwing out all these fake facts, and it's like,
I
there's
mean,
all these
sure,
things.
you want to call fake.
Like I've seen that happen before. Like someone was like, it was on the news actually. Like she got called out on something, and she couldn't speak for a while because the fact I forgot what it was about. It was something, and like he said something that was like had facts behind it, and she couldn't say anything. She was basically backed up into a wall,
Cool.
and like I think she just changed the subject. I can't remember, but it was like, man, like if you know the facts behind whatever your argument is, and you lay that all down, you know you won the battle when they just call you a racist or a bigot.
Pretty much.
It's like, oh, you're just racist because you don't understand the black people's struggle or this and this. It's like I need to state like being in your culture, you've obviously like faced somewhat of like racism towards yourself, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, same thing with Hispanics. Either they look at me and think I speak Spanish and start speaking Spanish to me, or of course, they think I'm from Mexico. I'm like, oh, do you have a green card and stuff like that? Yeah, are you risking getting deported or something like that? And that's the thing, me being born in America, it's a blessing because I don't have to have that worry or that struggle of like
Yeah,
I risk getting deported.
you're right.
But for those who aren't so lucky, that daily, fear, that phobia of just being deported is another struggle. And no one really touches on that subject either. Like when President Trump said he's going to deport all these Mexicans, of course people call him racist and stuff. But when it started happening, no one was really like putting it up on the news and anything.
Yeah, because like, if you think about it, like as bad as much as I oppose of it, like him deporting illegal immigrants, much as I like really like dislike it, I mean, you can't just have like, how do I say this? If he's gonna run the country correctly, he has to kind of like take charge,
Yeah,
and he has to kind of like put his foot down somewhere,
yeah,
because if he doesn't, then people are just gonna walk all over him. Like right now, a lot of people give him shit, but he did stop the Korean War technically.
yeah,
He's having North Korea denuclearize their nuclear programs. That's pretty fucking good.
yeah,
That's really good. And people are still like dissing him, saying like, "Oh, he didn't do shit. Obama did it." What the fuck do you mean Obama did it? Honestly, during the 8 years he was term president, he didn't do anything. Did you know that, Lorenzo?
yeah. I heard. It's like barely little things he did that like actually affected anything.
Yeah, he was just. People say he's good because he was just black president. That's it.
Yeah, I mean that was a history breaking thing, but
No, of course. But then like the fact that they say like he was more like he did more than Trump ever will, that's a bit false.
yeah, that's true. And like thing is, me being in the military, I can't really like just diss the president. It's like talking shit on your boss, and it's like
Yeah, of course. You can't say that. You can't.
yeah, like when people are like, oh, president's gonna be, Trump's gonna be a bad president, all that. It's like, well, we have to wait and see. It's too early to say, because he is a business owner. He knows how to conduct business. He may sound stupid a lot, saying different things in different ways, but in a way, he still gets things done.
Yeah.
And that's what it's like. People don't understand. He is a businessman. He knows how to conduct business, and yeah, I mean, like he was bankrupt for a while, but now he was back on his feet. Still running his business, and it's like everyone's just still giving him shit. It's like, I mean, like if you want to change it, you know how to change it. Rally up a group, make changes on your own. Don't just
Yeah.
sit there and complain about it. You know.
Essentially, yeah. Because like, if you're just gonna complain but not do anything, you're gonna talk shit on someone that's trying to change the country for the better, then that says a lot about your character.
Yeah, that is true. Like whenever someone says, "Oh, why should I even vote if it's not going to change anything?" And like,
People say that Trump wasn't gonna win, but Trump fucking won.
yeah,
Whose fault was that?
everyone who didn't vote or like voted for him. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, people who didn't want to be president didn't vote. I'm pretty sure. Because Hillary was on the other side, and they're like, well, we could either have a asshole,
Yeah.
businessman as a president, or we could have a female as a president. You know, looks like I'm not gonna vote. Like a lot of people had that mindset. And it's like crazy, you know. And a lot of people wanted Bernie Sanders because he was like that grandpa you go to for money.
Pretty much. I just killed 3 people. I feel fucking great.
God tier and shit right there, man. But whatchamacallit? Yeah, shit like that. Yeah, he did do a lot more than like President Obama and stuff. And it's like people keep giving shit about it. It's like, oh well, he's still not doing anything. President Obama was still the greatest president.
Mm-hmm.
President Obama was more of like a respectful president. He didn't say all these outlandish things.
Oh no, of course.
It
But
just yeah.
the thing is, like, but because like Obama, he didn't want to go past the boundaries, you know.
Yeah.
But the problem with that, the real problem with that is how to say this. The problem with that is he didn't want to overstep boundaries, but because of that, he wasn't able to get much things done.
Yeah.
You know, like he wasn't able to, like how Trump did. Him being kind of like a, kind of not necessarily big, but very outlandish. Him being big and not big in the sense like he's large, but big in the sense like he's kind of out there.
Yeah.
These things happen because of what he's done.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. It's just a lot of shade.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's crazy though.
True.
Shit like that, just fucking like it. I don't know. That's why it's like weird for me to talk about, politics and stuff when I basically am a part of the politic.
That's the best part.
Yeah. It's like like I said before, it's like stepping through a field of landmines with clown shoes. I gotta watch what I say, or otherwise I get in trouble.
Yeah.
I can't diss my own, branch of military service or any others. Can't talk shit about the president.
Honestly, the military, they're doing their own thing. They're doing the good thing, fighting the good fight.
Yeah.
But then, like, when people start dissing on the military, like, do you know what they're doing? They're not going out there killing children. You're talking to when you're talking to vets. You have to realize the shit they go through.
Yeah,
the scary shit.
That's true. It's life or death over there, and it's like when they come back and they get chastised by people and all that crazy stuff. It's like it makes them really regret joining the service because now they're just getting hated for the things that they signed up to do when they thought they were doing the right thing.
Essentially. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like people, they feel like they're entitled to like say whatever they want. Sure, that's what the freedom of speech is for. The problem with that is, there's freedom of speech, but there's consequences. You can be a dick. If you're being racist or like whatever. Sure, like if you're being fucked up, sure, like your employers or people around you, they don't want to associate with you anymore.
Yeah.
And that's a given. But like, like when people like exactly the same thing. When you're being an asshole, and then it's caught all on tape or camera or whatever, and then people see it, then you're an asshole because like you're disrespecting a veteran. You're basically making them feel like shit. Things of that nature.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it really, like how to put it into words. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatchamacallit? I recently seen a video of like a military member, a former military, like a vet, walking in with like his service dog and all that.
Oh yeah, this black lady. She was like, "Get this filthy fucking animal out of my sight, out of the store." And I'm like, "What the fuck? He needs that."
Exactly.
The dog's being more civilized than you are. You're the animal.
Exactly. Hey, you better be careful, though. Someone might call you racist.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like stuff like that. When I seen that, I was so mad. I was mad because like that's the only thing that keeps him calm. Would you rather have him doing drugs and being a threat to everyone else?
essentially.
Because that's all people do is like, oh well, if he's a vet and he's going through psychological thing, just give him drugs. Just give him drugs. He'll
Yeah,
be okay. And it's like adding gasoline to fire. You're making things worse.
exactly. Oh my god.
And service dogs, they are really good help because instead of using medication and relying on that, you having that medical dog is like it relaxes you having that dog there just to like make sure you're okay. Being there for you whenever you're stressing
Yeah,
out.
he helps you out.
Bringing you back to reality when you just go on those flashback moments. It's like, and that's the thing that like some people don't understand. It's like, oh, it's just another dog. They,
No, it's not. Like a dog, like regardless, a dog is a pet and man's best friend. But in this situation, he's helping. Like really, he's helping.
yeah, and they go through training before they give them just any random dog.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, here's a dog that looks like it could fit you.
Yeah,
Good luck. They actually make sure they have, decent training for these dogs before they give them out.
pretty much.
So it's not like these dogs are going to be like a violent attack on any other random person. Of course, if the person might be getting attacked, the dog will try to defend its owner. But other than that, it's going to be a nice dog.
Pretty much. No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, but when I seen that video, I was pissed. It's like, man, I wonder how he feels knowing that he served his country just to get yelled at for having a dog that helps him.
Exactly. Like, dude, I don't know. Like, it gets me heated because there are some people actually defending her,
Yeah,
and then I'm just like, what the actual fuck? I don't know. It's annoying.
yeah, it's crazy. Seeing stuff like that, just like I remember seeing a post saying, how would nah fuck I keep fucking up. It's like something about like how would you feel seeing a military member in his uniform getting spit on by just random people.
Oh, I'll fucking kick their ass.
Yeah, me being a military member is like, man, it's my automatic program to kick their ass. But me being a pacifist and shit like that's like, man, I
There's
kick.
some people that actually will defend the person that spits on them. And I'm
Yeah,
like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
yeah,
Like that man served your country. He helped you to get where you're at right now, and not in a direct way, but an indirect way.
yeah. And it's like it's crazy to see the way people just treat other people just because of their
Yeah.
beliefs. Like everyone, like people who do stuff like that believe that the military members are just out there to kill people without any remorse.
Yeah, that's what makes me pissed off, honestly.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's because of documentaries. Whenever they mention killing someone and they can't joke around about it, it's
Yeah,
it's military members just keeping their heads up. Find a little joy in whatever they do to keep them from like falling down like that.
essentially. But even though like there are some military, like some in the military that really fucked up, they did commit war crimes.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty sure those guys have been punished.
yeah, more than
I'm
likely.
very sure those guys have been punished. They haven't been, just sitting in their. They haven't just been sitting around chilling at home. They've been punished by the tribunal and everything because they're fucked up. They're fucked in the head.
Yeah,
But yeah, so I don't know, man. Just
I think
people think that like people in power or like in like the military or like cops, they get away with shit. No,
no,
people like to highlight the ones that do, not the ones that don't.
yeah. Because as soon as the one that gets in trouble and automatically gets punished for it, it's like, oh, it's open and closed case. We don't have to bring it up for any other reason.
Pretty much.
And I guess the greatest example of like fucking basically like all that crazy shit that happened was like during the Vietnam War, like crimes, all that other shit. Like
Pretty much.
the things that we were doing when we went to Vietnam were like horrendous.
Oh no, of course that was actually horrible. Like fuck.
War crimes. I can't think of the word war crimes. Yeah.
Exactly. Simple. It's as simple as that.
It's crazy though, just to think that us humans went down to our fucking basic instincts of being just terrible animals and shit. Like our morals were thrown out the window as soon as we went to Vietnam, and it's
Pretty
crazy.
much.
Like they just shot down civilians and molested, women and children, and it's fucked up. And I think that's after that happened, that's why a lot of people are like kind of against the military.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah. No, it's because it's things like that, like not experiences, but like bad news stories and shit like that. Because when you hear, like I said, the media likes to pick and choose what it shows.
yeah,
Like when you hear like military doing some horrible shit, of course you can hear about it. But what about all the good shit it does? Like I don't know, like to name examples, like there's like I can't think of it off the top of my head. But the military, it just brings more good than bad.
yeah,
As simple as that.
yeah. It's true. Like you always see like on different posts and whatever on social media, it shows like a kid or a female woman, blown mostly to bits and still hanging on to life, and say, "This is what your military is doing to the innocents over there." It's like, are you even sure that's true? How do you not know that she was, a casualty by like a suicide bomber or something like that?
Exactly. You don't know the whole story.
Yeah, it's like how you mentioned, people just pick and choose what they want to say about certain things, and it's really fucked up because they twist a lot of shit around.
Pretty much.
Like I could go ahead and sit here and twist everything around and make certain groups look worse than they actually are, and
Yeah.
you never know, that group could actually be a good group and doing good things. And it's like, oh well, the way he's saying it obviously sounds like they're really bad people. Why should I believe these people what they say if we have this guy right here?
Yeah.
And that's what the scary thing
So,
is. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. People like to pick and choose what they want to complain about, but then when the facts get presented and then it challenges their own beliefs, then that's when they start getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And then they start calling you like, you know, bad words.
Yeah. Call you hypocrite, racist, or whatever you did to prove them wrong.
Essentially.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And then that's just people. That's literally just people in general.
Yeah. Have you heard any news about the Black Lives Matter movement yet?
I heard only bad things from them, honestly.
Like them just being more violent, or just like them just
Being more violent, or just in general, like they're just saying white people owe us everything. Like, what do you mean? Work for that shit.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the point, then shouldn't they owe the Mexicans everything? Because
Exactly.
by default, the Hispanics were here first. They're technically the Native Americans before they got pushed out.
Hmm.
And it's like, well, if that's the point, then shouldn't Mexicans get everything first before the blacks? I mean, we were here first.
Yeah.
Then you guys came along. Sure, you guys get whatever we don't need. Then it falls down the line and all that shit. But
When you think about it, the people who the slave owners, like the real slave owners, they're all fucking dead. So were the slaves. All the slaves are dead as well.
that's true.
Like the people who actually deserve it, they passed away a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then you're just trying to claim it because, like, oh, I'm too lazy. I can't work for my own stuff. And white people
Prevent you from working and all that shit.
essentially.
It's like, it's weird. It's like, if you can find an excuse to do whatever you want, you could use that for whatever reason you can. You play the race card, the gender card, play both cards.
Yeah, technically.
And it's like,
that's what I find really annoying.
Yeah, and a lot of people get away with it too. Like, whatchamacallit? Like, I can understand, I mean, women do go through a lot, they do, I guess, like, I mean, for the most part, they have been given, equal rights for a lot of things. The only thing is, they always complain about the wage gap, and thing is when we have kids, when, a family has kids, the guy can't just leave work to go take care of his family for a month or two.
Exactly. Well, not even just that, Lorenzo, but the wage gap. You know why the wage gap exists or how it exists? There's no such thing as the wage gap. Do you know why?
Why?
Simply because men they choose jobs that are longer hours and harder but better pay.
Mm-hmm.
That's because men can handle it. That's
Yeah.
because they want to. And there are women in some jobs like that for sure. But then in general, like they usually tend to go towards more the
Safer
easier
route.
jobs,
Yeah, safer route.
safer route, basically.
Yeah.
And then it's like they just choose to do that, like teachers or more like what is it? How do I say this? What is this? There we go. But they go towards more the empathetic jobs.
Yeah.
More of the jobs that are like towards emotional. That's why it's like when they're really good at manipulating, it's because they can manipulate because they're really good at it.
Yeah.
It's natural. It's more natural.
Yeah.
And all guys tend to go towards more the harder jobs, like the ones where it gets kind of crazy, like the meat factories and shit like that.
Yeah.
Things like that. They work harder jobs, longer hours. That's why they get more paid. That's why they're saying like, oh, my wage gap. Some fucking wage gap. It's just that's just it. It's just guys like to work harder and longer hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, people like to complain about things, find a way, try to legitimize their own problems when it's just somebody's fault.
Yeah, that's true. Whatchamacallit? And it's like, thing is, as guys, we always choose the harder jobs because in our minds, it's what I guess our instincts say it's what we're basically made to do. Just do the harder jobs, Even though we don't want to do it, we know we gotta do it eventually.
Pretty much, yeah. No, I feel you on that.
And it's like women have always been like the way, like in the easy route sometimes. Not all women, just like some women. I'm not, I don't want to generalize the entire population of women. Next, I'm the next, fucking one on YouTube or some shit getting fucking copyrighted and shit.
Nah, I feel you on that.
But it's like the way things are, like us guys, we do choose the harder jobs because, it's, like I said before, it's our instincts. We don't want to do it, but we know we got to earn an honest living. But
essentially,
a lot of women know how to work the system and like get what they want, and when they don't, they play victim.
Yeah.
Like that's why us men always just choose the hard jobs. Military, meat factories, regular factories, fucking anything that has you sign a waiver saying you could possibly die from this job.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, I mean, we have a right to complain, and we have the right to like the higher pay because our job could kill us.
Mm-hmm.
Like being a firefighter, you don't get paid a lot. You only get a lot of respect, yeah, but you don't get paid a lot.
Pretty much.
And it's like, well, I mean, that doesn't really make any sense. If we're risking our lives, why don't we get better pay?
Yeah.
Firefighters, ambulances, and the paramedics and military members and law enforcement. It's like we don't get paid that much. Yeah, people always complain that we're always the bad guys. It's weird.
No, I feel you on that. No, I definitely feel you on that.
Yeah.
They just paint the wrong picture. A bad picture.
Yeah. Like nowadays, fucking, if you can manipulate the argument to your favor, you win the battle.
Yeah, that's as simple as it gets, right? So.
Yeah. And it's like, well, if I don't know, just the whole social media thing, just like I said before, ever since social media started getting more adaptive, internet, got more and more popular, things kind of got downhill.
Yeah.
Like, I'll admit, there's some good things with the internet, teaches you things here and there. But for the most part, people just kind of misuse it. I mean, I miss,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
like some people shouldn't even be on the internet at all.
yeah. Like, I do you watch PewDiePie? I know it's
I do
weird. Like, remember?
sometimes. He's
That,
funny.
yeah, he is. Like, I never thought I'd be still watching him out of high school and all that shit.
Yeah, PewDiePie it became very genuine.
Yeah. But you remember the video he did about like some like 16-year-old who wanted a car, right? Her mom said no and wanted to get her a job instead.
Hmm.
Like that's how kids are nowadays. Like they think they're entitled to do whatever they want whenever they want, and it really bugs me because if I was like that, if I tried being like that, my mom would beat me.
Oh no, 100%. My mom will beat me as well.
I was like, but mom, I'm 15 years old. I'm basically an adult. If I ever pull that, my mom like, oh, you're an adult, and she'll beat me like an adult. She wouldn't like use a belt or anything. She would punch me like I was just a random stranger. I know my mom would do that too. It's like, oh, you're an adult. Bink, right in the nose. I'm like
Right.
sitting in my bed crying with my nose bleeding and all that. Just thinking in my mind, well, if I'm an adult, that means I can run away, right? Yeah, it's just like kids nowadays, and it's weird too. Like, you can't hit your kids, otherwise you're abusive. Like,
Pretty much.
you're like, oh well, you just have to talk to your kids, your kids, they're just kids. It's like, well, I mean, like at certain points, you do have to install discipline to them.
Hmm. Yeah, because like if you show them that if you don't discipline your children, you essentially show that you make them feel that there's no backlash or consequences for their actions.
Basically, yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, you're just enabling them to be entitled jerks.
Yeah, like they're gonna go on their lives like thinking, oh, next time I get in trouble, they're just gonna talk to me about it, and I can keep doing what I want, you know. But if you like use actual like physical discipline, like, well, last time I did this, they used a belt. So if I do this, what, well, what are they gonna use this time? Are they gonna use a wire or something?
Pretty much.
And it's like that kind of fear aspect of like not knowing what could be going on next, instead of like knowing that you're just gonna get by starting talking and that's about it. It's all the difference it makes in making a good person.
100%, Marcel. 100%.
Yeah. Because if my mom never hit me, I'm pretty sure I'll probably be in jail by now. Or if my mom hit me too much, I'll probably be in jail.
Hmm. Yeah, same here. Like my parents, I remember they got like a fucking like a butcher's knife, the giant cleaver.
Yeah.
Smacked my ass with the side of it. I said, "Oh fuck." Yeah, that was bad, but like what you call it. It taught me to respect my parents, to respect everyone else. And I mean, when I mean everyone else, I mean like anyone. Because when I come up to you, unless you guys are friends, I'm gonna be respectful towards you. I'm gonna say, "How you doing?"
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
not gonna go like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Because that doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
Like a starter for a conversation. So
Yeah, it's true.
like it's just good to be courteous and also be very thoughtful. Don't just be like, don't go in there with just like one track mind. You gotta think about everything. Because like if you're not considerate of another person, of the other person you're talking to, things can go hairy. You can possibly like, miss out on a good you can miss out on a good like opportunity to like make new connections and new friends possibly. Things like that.
Yeah. That's basically true. Like, you know how my mom made sure I didn't do drugs? Because this was like when I was like early high school and I was in football and all that. Um, Me and Samuel were joking around about smoking weed and stuff, and my mom seen my phone, and she seen that, and she woke me up in the middle of the night, and she had like a bread knife, the one that like has the sharp edges to cut bread,
Oh shit.
and she started lighting that shit on fire with the stove. And my heart was beating so fast. She was like, tell me the truth. I'm gonna ask you one time, are you doing drugs? I was like, no. It's like, how can I believe you? I was like, we could go buy a drug test right now, mom. That's how I knew I could, even if I did do drugs, I would still say that just to see if she'll call my bluff. But that's how she knew I wasn't bluffing. Offering to actually go get the drug test.
Yeah.
That's she's like, all right, just go to bed. And every time I see that knife, and this burns like, man, I could have gotten stabbed or cauterized the wound instantly. My mom would have stabbed me for doing drugs. Oh my god.
That's hella scary, honestly.
That or burn me. Just burn me, just burn my hand or something. I don't know. Yeah, but the stories my mom went through, it's fucking crazy. Like the way she turned out now is surprising the way she grew up. Cause growing up, she was like kind of a bad kid. Like she made her cousins drink with her at like 16. Like my aunts and uncles. Yeah, my aunts and uncles were always hanging with her. And she'd always make them drink with her. At like 16 years old and shit. I was like, well, at 16 years old, I was still wondering if I could even love a girl or a girl would ever love me. Like if I show you a picture of my mom, like back then before she had me, you think she was from the movie Blood In, Blood Out.
Jesus Christ,
yeah, when I seen the picture, I was like, Jesus, Mom, I'm pretty sure if I just walked by, you would just kick my ass for no reason. She's like, yeah, I would. My grandma even told me that she actually brought a gun to school one time and got expelled.
What the actual fuck?
Yeah, probably. They said she was probably gonna show up some kid or something like that like looked at her wrong.
Christ.
My mom, I would not be born right now if my mom continued doing what she was doing.
Oh shit.
My mom was like your average Fresno thug.
Damn, but like times 100.
Yeah, she was the true definition of blood in, blood out. She would beat up my uncle's bullies. Like my uncle would try to be like hard ass sometimes, trying to be thug, but sometimes he'd always be bigger people than him. And my mom would always kick their asses. And it's like, man. Like if I was born around that time and see my mom like that, I would be terrified. Just knowing I'd just be sitting in class and next thing I get a chair to the back of my head.
Well, shit.
But yeah, the stories my grandma told me about my mom is pretty crazy. Yeah, it's like I was compared to her, I was a really good kid then, cause I didn't do drugs. I never really got drunk. Yeah. I mean, all I ever did was just watch porn and fail school.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like it could have been a lot worse, so
could have been.
You did good compared to a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean a lot.
Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure, like I'll probably be like one of those people, like in prison or juvie or some shit, because of drugs or violence or some shit. Yeah, pretty sure that could have happened if I stayed.
Excuse me. Oh fuck. Damn. My eyes want water for no reason.
Yeah.
What's your call? What are you doing right now exactly?
I just doing the stream and just whatchamacallit, looking through Facebook.
Okay.
Would you date anyone that is already a parent?
Currently, Lawrence, I ain't gonna date anybody, but would I? That's a good question. Right now, no. I'm too young, Lorenzo. I'm way too young. Yeah. I'm only 20.
Yeah.
Hell no. But dude, like, maybe along the lines of like, I really like this person and I met the kid and then I get along with them. Maybe because then, But then, like I said, I have no interest. I have no interest in relationships. Yeah, it's like I'm trying to save money, Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't trying to get like make my wallet go like R.I.P.
True. Yeah. Like we said before, you're gonna be like the ultimate virgin, like ultimate power and all that, and I'll be like your counterpart and shit. You'll be the light and I'll be the darkness. Just like
the light and darkness, Jesus Christ.
I'll be the darkness of all the poon I'll be getting and shit. And
Oh my god.
yeah, I'll be
I'm
like,
the fucking holy sage.
true, and I'll be the dark sage.
Let's see.
It'd be like Star Wars and shit, you know. You're just yelling at me saying I was a chosen one and shit.
Easy peasy.
And I'm like, you underestimate my power, and I just like throw myself to a volcano and shit. Yeah. I can see that being like a little shitty anime.
True.
Like just, you know, we both voice these different characters. You know, you're like the ultimate powerful virgin, while I'm the evil sorcerer, Poon Slayer.
Damn.
And like we have like our own little apprentices and shit. It's like fucking anime that spends like fucking 17 years.
No, I understand. That'd be kind of funny, honestly.
Yeah. I kind of hope this podcast, you know, like I can move on from it, you know, still do the podcast, but also do other things, like to the point where it gets animated. Like, you
That's
know,
gonna take a while, Lorenzo.
it's gonna take a while.
For sure.
Yeah, I want to see like them just like if we ever just like do videos of all of us together, like when I get out and shit. I want to see who they're gonna ship us with.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That would be a long time, Lorenzo, until something like that like gets even thought of.
That's true. I could just like, cause Gustan's gonna be like the, you know, the Poon Slayer of the group, and everyone's gonna want to be with him. Everyone's going to be shipped with him.
True.
We always say how cute Gustan is, so it's like we're all fighting for his affection and shit. So it's not. So it will always be like every episode or some like new random animation, like us just drooling all over him and shit.
Being all hella gay.
Yeah, true.
Dude, well, me and Samuel at work, we were talking about it. Like, you know how we say, like, I was fucking gay?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
when we use the word gay, we use it in the sense of
It sucks.
it sucks. It literally sucks. That's it. Yeah. But then, you know, people take offense to that.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, it's whatever. Because, like, if you butt her by it, then I guess you butt her by it. Not as simple as that.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. Because, like, he says, like, it's kind of annoying because, I mean, we're not using it in a derogatory term. We're just using it as, like, you know, another, like synonym for it sucks.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah. It's not like you call each other the F word, faggots and shit like that. You know. I mean, maybe you guys do, but you guys do it in a jokingly way.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not really like saying, call him, you know, a faggot for real, like, hey, you faggot, yeah, you fucking homo or some shit like that. Then yeah, I guess, you know, people would just see it as automatically being offensive, which is like, it's like basically like anyone that's not black hearing someone else say the N word.
Very much.
That's weird.
Man, like, it's just a word.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, you give that word power by how much it offends you.
Essentially. Yeah, that's basically it. That's literally it.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. I don't know, though. Like, people just like, ooh, got like that. But then, yeah, people just be butthurt, Lorenzo. It's a simple fact.
Yeah.
It's like the daily job. It's literally like the full-time job.
Basically, yeah.
And I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Damn. So what do you do there in the military for fun, Lorenzo?
Well, if it's not automatically drink, it's probably go out somewhere hanging out. You know, just do everyday things. Like if I was in the military, like go to movies or some shit like that. Go to the mall or just hang out, stay poon.
Okay, that's pretty good.
But yeah. Just whatever, like basically like any other day of free time. If I had my game, I'd probably be playing it right now. Probably would be streaming my game and shit. you know, me and my garbage skills and shit like that.
Oh, what happened to your PS4 broke, right?
Yeah, fell down like.
How long do you need until you get a replacement?
I don't know. I'll probably like look at a pawn shop, get like a little cheap one.
Oh, okay. It's like a refurbished one.
Yeah.
Search on Amazon or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some of those.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. Now, like, I'm pretty sure GameStop has like at least like a PS2. It's like what, maybe $300.
A PS2?
The PS, no PS2, a PS4. I mean.
Oh, okay. I want to say, what the fuck? Because like that'd be way too much there. Like Jesus Christ.
No, because I still have my PS2. It's back at home. The silver slim one.
Nice. That's actually a cool color.
Yeah. Like I used to have like the actual fat black one, but you know, I upgraded to the silver slim one after my dog, you know, chewed up my controller and I tripped over the controller wire. You know, destroyed my black one. I was so devastated. That's I mean, even though the PS2 you had to have the memory card to save your shit, it was still fun to play. Like the fact that you leave your game on just so you don't have to lose all your progress was like so scary sometimes.
I feel. I definitely feel.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes like some games like not even on the computer or on the computer, you know, like well thankfully on the computer since everything is like on the internet it saves automatically for the majority of the part. But like when I did experience like when I first got my what is it? When I first got a PS2 from my friend, a really good friend of mine's, kind of like broke off.
Yeah.
I broke away after a while, but nonetheless, he was a really good friend. He gave me his PS2, and it had like Soul Calibur, a bunch of other games too, like Soul Calibur. It was like just fun in general. Like I don't know, a good time. But then like that's when I learned that how do I say this? That's when I learned that you need to save. You really need to save.
You do. Like it's scary when you play a game with no memory card during a storm because you never know when the power's gonna go out.
Like God of War.
Yes, like you're on that boss battle. You've been like you died so many times, and you finally get done the moves, and then power's out. You're just sitting in the darkness, just wondering what happened.
Yeah.
And you
just like man, the fuck.
Start all over. Like that's how it was for me. I used to have like GTA Vice City, and like I'd leave it on for so long, and like that, like it would like mess up my game for a minute. I would be like glitchy and all that shit. Like, man, did I break my game without even playing it? And like it's scary because you never know if like maybe something restarted your game while you're gone.
That's actually really true.
Yeah, that's why That's why I'm glad that some games automatically save. But only at the good points, because if a game saves right as you're dying, and like you just in that endless cycle of like dying over and over again, in those split seconds, it's really annoying. Like I had Fallout New Vegas, and I was like in this area that's like really highly radiated, and my suit was like kind of busted. So I was like getting razzed up the ass. And it just happened like quick save right like a few seconds before I actually died. So every time I loaded back up, I was like, okay, I gotta get some food. And that lasts for a few seconds to like find some rat away. Nope, died again. Like fuck. So I just like see how long it would take me to die if I just lift my controller down. I did like 4 seconds, 4 or 5 seconds. Like fuck that. I just screwed myself. I screwed it. That pissed me off that pissed me off so bad because I was stuck there for so long.
No, I understand you, man.
That's why automatic saves are kind of risky at certain points. I mean, unless it's like right before a boss battle and shit, then sure.
That's true. Because like, I don't know, like I do like automatic saves, like I really do. No, my God, how do I say this? I love automatic saves because like it works so well.
Yeah.
The one thing I dislike though is like whatchamacallit. How do I say this? It's when the game automatically saves, and then there's some games like this, like they save at certain milestones,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't save. They don't allow you to manually save.
Yeah.
With that, that's actually scary because like, if you have progress, like say you make good progress, but you haven't reached a milestone yet, you kind of fucked because you like say for instance you want to go to sleep, or you have somewhere to go,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of something, and say for instance you beat something really hard, but you haven't gone to the milestone yet, you kind of just wasted all that effort from that.
Yeah. Basically like God of War with the memory cards and shit, you know? Like you couldn't just save on the fly. You had to go find the saving point somewhere.
Basically.
It was like going so far without seeing one of those is like really fucking scary, knowing that at any moment your game could just shut off and it's like you lose everything and you're just like throwing that little retard tantrum fit and shit. Yeah.
I feel you. Fuck. Oh damn, it's already almost 1 o'clock. Alright, Lorenzo. I'm gonna have to get going. It was good talking to you, bro.
Alright, good talking to you too, man.
Alright, hopefully I'll see you some other time this week, or maybe next week.
Yeah.
Alright, then have a good night, bro.
Alright, you too, man. Alright. Don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe. Don't do any of that shit if you don't want to. I don't give two shits. It's just entertainment. Fuck it. I'm out, skis.